Hey, it's Chronologically Gaming, the only channel that's perpetually retro because we're playing every video game in order of release. No show plays video games like we do. We're still in the beginning of November 1982. And you knew I was going to play that one, right? The last game we were checking out was Pitfall, released on the Intellivision, and trust me, after the game's released for this episode, you'll just want to keep playing Pitfall. Let's see our next game. Our next game releases on the Atari VCS, the Atari 2600, the 174th game we've played, and this is Planet Patrol. 174 games? Maybe they should stop. No more games for the Atari, but that's not going to happen. Here's the box for Planet Patrol. Nice, another one by Spectravision. This is the 5th game we've seen by Spectravision. All of them have been on the Atari 2600. This is a definite fabrication of a box, if I can ever get... I mean, look at this. The screenshot that they're showing at the front doesn't even look clear. Let's flip this over in the back. Maybe we can get an actual scan. You're an ace fighter pilot patrolling and protecting the galaxy. You're constantly being attacked by evil forces. That sounds like every video game we played. I mean, give us something different. You can see they have the joysticks plugged in to our Atari. It still brings me back. If you got this brand new, maybe you'd be excited. But as of this point, we kind of get inconsistencies with these games. Yes, still making new games. That's right, Paul. Here's the other artwork we have for Planet Patrol. There we go. That's an actual scan. This is meant to be shiny and metallic like those Magic boxes, but it doesn't really work so well when you try to scan these in. There is the back of the box. Yeah. 4 games, 2 difficult skill levels, maximum score of 999,000 points. Yikes. We're definitely not going to get that. Here's the ad I would have seen in magazines at the time with other games by Spectravision. We've seen them all. Gangster Alley, Tapeworm, China Syndrome. Oh, we haven't seen Cross Force. That one must be coming out soon, at least before the holiday season. The top screenshots give us what's happening, but this is the other thing that's more interesting. This is, like the other Spectravision games, compatible with the brand new Quickshot by Spectravision. And Spectravision, we're going to be seeing their own console, at least at some point, but this is the Quickshot. Got to put that in our hands to play. It has the button at the top to give you single-handed game control. Wow. And there's our cartridge for Spectravision to pop into our Atari and play with an example of the screenshot. We have the manual too. Tell us how to play Planet Patrol. It says 1 or 2 players, but you have to take turns. You don't get to play at the same time. Attention all pilots. We have to return immediately to the starbase. Here are our orders. Destroy the enemy bases. Rescue the brave pilots that are stranded during the invasion. All right, we got it. Welcome to the Starbase Squadron Command. You've been recalled because Planet Spectra and Sector S has been invaded. Each pilot's going to be playing the game, well, taking turns playing the game. There's the enemy up on top, missile base, the drone missiles, and heat-seeking torpedoes, and we have to destroy everything. Break in and blow up the base. It explains how to set up the game over on the far left side. We can see we have game modes A and B for beginner or advanced, a demo mode or the track mode, and then we have 1 or 2 players. And look, they have the children's version of the games. We've seen that for Atari games too. Up at the top is the point values. We have 4 patrol vessels and a full tank of fuel. And we have a docking scenario with this game, which is kind of cool. Pass over the stranded pilot, and after the rescue, we'll approach the enemy bases and destroy them. After you destroy the enemy base cluster, you avoid the collision with the debris from the explosion. That's pretty cool. So we have refueling as well. Enemy bases are destroyed. We'll be permission for granting a refuel. And then as we approach the dark side of the planet, darkness will set in and you'll be in the night mode or a day and night cycle for the video game. How about that? Yeah, I got to see that to believe it. So there you go. Oh, look, and we have additional versions for young children. Very cute. The other versions for this are quite a bit. It was available in PAL regions by Play Video, Spectravision, Brazil by CCE. Let's go to the United States and play Planet Patrol. This is Spectravision in the beginning of November 1982. I got my quick shot going in. So here's the attract mode like they do with most games on the Atari. And then when we're ready to play, you can do the game options, but I'm just going to stick with 1 player, normal. We're not doing kid mode here. And reset. And we're in. All we got to do is make our way to the base without dying. So it's a scrolling shoot 'em up. I mean, look at the background. Look what they're doing with the effect with the that black ship was our refueling base, and I just totally destroyed it. I'm just so used to destroying all fuel in video games. So there you go. We destroyed it. Now we got to get out of here. Ready? Here, it's going to speed up. Get ready. Make it through the debris. Nice, we got it. And then you pick a path, whether top or bottom, and you keep going. And then we slowly make our way around the planet. You can see it's going to start changing. But yeah, there it is. And it's going to go to night. That's cool. Very, very nice. I really can't get over how the background's changing. Now, this is a really cool effect. When it does turn night, every time you shoot, then it flashes so you can see the bullets of the shots on the other side of the planet. And even changes the moon in the background. Wow, for a shoot 'em up on a home console, that's awesome. Reminds me of the gimmicks we've seen of like flying across a planet for a shoot 'em up, but this is awesome. Oh, yeah. The effect is really good and impressive for a third party. At this time, you don't know what you're going to really get on the Atari, and this one's good. And look at that, we're back on the other side of the planet, still taking out enemies. I'm actually getting really lucky. Okay, there's our base. Let's dock. Simple docking procedure. All you got to do is just run into it. Just don't shoot it. Destroy the bases. Okay, here it is. It's going to be fast. Watch the debris, and go. We did it. So cool. So we got a side-scrolling shoot-'em-up. Of all the games we played up to this point, this is the 149th side-scrolling shoot-'em-up. Whether it's, auto-scrolling or like Defender, that's a lot of shoot-'em-ups that are out there. There's 17 of these that we played on home consoles. Notice that we got the speed up now. Whoa, yes. The day and night cycle is not something new that we've seen on the show. For shooters, though, it's pretty cool. This is the 5th game that I've marked that we've seen with games that have a day and night cycle. So it's still a really fresh idea. And there's some games that have like day and night modes, but this one is actually transitioning from day to night. That's what makes this unique. Oh, and that platform was supposed to be for landing? Uh-oh. You gotta be really fast to refuel. It's so much fun, though. Oh, man, it got a piece of me. I can't believe it. So the whole auto-scrolling shooter, up to this point, we played 90 auto-scrolling shoot-'em-ups on all systems. And this is the 6th one that we played for consoles. In other words, we're not controlling the way we move around like a Defender-style games. So it's still interesting that another thing that's unique is we're scrolling to the left, which usually isn't the case. But this is fun. This is really, really good. Oh, and that's what it is coming out to refuel me. So much fun to be had with this one. So that's just a quick taste of Planet Patrol. You kind of get the idea. It's going to get faster and faster, refueling, landing, shooting, destroying the base. It's got different modes. It's actually very well done, action-packed. I'm surprised seeing this from Spectravision. Of all the third-party publishers, I know we have a Magic that's incredible and Activision that's incredible. Spectravision has some pretty good ones. And this one's no exception. Of all the games you could be playing across all home consoles right now, Planet Patrol is an above-average game. It's not the usual fare. And I say that because we've seen a lot of inconsistencies out there. Yes, I know. We do look like a Star Trek shuttle. From the chat, I see some mostly averages that are around this time. I will say 3.5. Of all the games you could play, it's an above-average game. Planet Patrol. Check it out. In November of 1982. All right, after that, let's see what our next game is. We're next going to the United Kingdom and play on our Sinclair ZX Spectrum. This is Planetoids. Not to be confused with Planetoids on the TRS-80 by Mark Goodman from 1980, which is also called Fasteroids. And also not to be confused with Planetoids on the Apple II by Steve A. Baker. And not to be confused with Planetoids on the ZX81. So there's a lot of games with Planetoids, but not this Planetoids. It's a totally different one. This is only on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. It marks the 129th game we've played for this brand new micro that just came out this year. Look at that box, though. Very, very well done. This one is by Sinclair Research, the 17th game we've seen by them, and Scion Software, the 14th game that we've seen by them. This box is technically a later release box because, believe it or not, it's a ROM cartridge. This is the box you would have seen around 1983. The first version was on cassette tape, but this box, I mean, is so good. I mean, you don't expect us to play every single version of every single game. Then we would take the time to play the cassette version of the game, the disc version of the game, the cartridge version of the game. Yeah, not going to happen. Stay cool and calm, and you'll survive the onslaught of passing planetoids. Dodge and swerve using the thrust button. Turn on a planetoid and fire. Beware the alien ships that move around. And when it comes to the crunch, use the hyperspace button. Full color, high resolution graphics with sound on your ZX Spectrum. Sweet. Okay, what else do we have for planetoids as far as artwork? There's our ZX Spectrum. Ah, yes. Prepare to push very hard on the keys. There we go. So there's the cassette version. That's the one that we're playing first. There was a later cartridge version and an example of the screenshot. The manual that we have is just a homebrew manual explaining what the controls are, of how to play. Rotating left is Z and X, fire, space. So it's going to be all keyboard controls. Let's see what happens. This one was available by Sinclair Research, and I have the different versions there. Let's pop in that cassette tape and play Planetoids. Scion Software, Sinclair Research, in the beginning of November 1982. Nice. So there we go. There's the controls. Hyperspace is H. I'm just going to try them all out. So it's keyboard, so I might be fumbling a little bit with the keyboard controls. Ready, set, C to commence. All right, let's try it out. Z, X, okay, nice. We got the turn. Where's my shot? Oh, no, that's the that's thrust. And there it is, the shot. Oh, nice. This is a little otherworldly. Look how smooth the ship spins on the ZX Spectrum. There's my hyperspace, H for hyperspace, and I got my thrust to thrust right into. So when I just touch thrust, it's not, it's doing little bits at a time, like, I'm just tapping the thrust, and that's what it does. So it's not as fine-tuned with the thrust for video games that feel like asteroids, but man, this is... The turning of the ship feels really smooth. Can I do it at the same time? No, not really. So the inertia of the ship feels slightly off considering the other asteroids games we played up to this point, but the way that this looks on the ZX Spectrum is still really impressive. Yikes. That was some really fast death. We didn't even see any Brad's like, meh. We didn't see any of the UFOs even. Now let's push C to commence. There you go. That's it. All right, so at this point, the games we played that are official asteroids, I kind of talked about this when we played Meteors on the BBC Micro, which is a really good version for a home computer. But the official asteroids that we've seen up to this point has been Asteroids, Asteroids Deluxe, and Space Duel. It's kind of like the third version of Asteroids. And we also saw Asteroids on the Atari 2600 and the Atari 800. Those are all the official ones. Up to this point, though, we've seen 48 variations of Asteroids. There's a UFO. And that's on all systems. This is the second version of Asteroids that we've seen on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. So I'm already feeling it's for the ZX Spectrum, you would have a really good time with this one. For all the Asteroid versions we played, there's better versions that use the way the ship thrusts through space. Yeah, the sound is very minimal. Like whenever I go in, you hear just very minimal bleep and bloop. But you have to remember the Sinclair ZX Spectrum is very, very new right now. I like the way that the asteroids split apart. It doesn't feel like I'm playing something that's trying to be vector-based graphics like in the arcade. This feels like we're playing more solid asteroids. The best way that you could be playing asteroids right now on home computers are games like Astro Warriors on the Atari home computer, Star Maze on the Apple II, Supernova for the TRS-80, Appleoids on the Apple II, Asteroid Field on the Apple II. So this has a lot. It's going to be competing with like Microbes on the TRS-80 color computer is another really good one. Satellites and Meteorites for the VIC-20. What? We got Slowdown. That's interesting. Wow. Okay, yeah. So yeah, it feels a little different, a little strange. Another really good one we played was Quadrant 6112 on the Apple II, Super Asteroids on the XD Sorcerer, Asteroids in Space on the Apple II, and Astro Dodge on MS-DOS. So this one, I wouldn't even say it can hold a candle to any of those versions that we say, especially Meteors, which was very, very good. But when you think of all the games you could be playing right now on all home computers, if you're one of those really spoiled rich kids like we are on Chronologically Gaming that has every home computer, you would say Planetoids is pretty average for all the games up to this point. Yeah, oh yeah, and Mindstorm, well that would be on a home console. This is only going against everything that's available on home computers and micros. So for Planetoids, as far as an asteroid-style game of those 46, what did we say, 47... 48. This is the 48th variant of asteroids. This is still around the average range. Looking in the chat, I see mostly average 2.5 or 3 stars. I'm going straight up 3. 3 stars. You would enjoy it on the ZX Spectrum, but if you have everything else that's for all home computers, 3 is all it gets. All right, so after Planetoids, let's see what our next game is. We're going back to the Atari home computer. Let's play Plattermania. Plattermania. Here's the box. Yes, it's by Epix. And it's on cartridge. Bring it on. I love it. Another clown video game. Oh, we just played one last episode. I can't make this up, people. This is a completely new experience as far as video games go. Oh man, this is the 394th game we've played on the Atari home computer, and they are not stopping. Keep it coming. More and more clowns. Take your place among the all-time great circus performers. Test your skill as you perform amazing plate balancing feats. Whose idea was thinking that this was going to sell a lot of games? You can see on the far right, it says it's for 1 to 4 players, and it requires joystick or paddle controls. Very nice. And then it has an example of what the play is like. We haven't seen this on any other things. Epix usually comes out with other things. Epix, also known as Automated Simulations, has a few games that go by that title, but this is one of the few that is published by Epix. Yes, it's not Automated Simulations, but whether it's either one, they've been around. This is the 40th game we've seen by Epix or Automated Simulations up to this point. Here's one of the catalog items that has Alien Garden, Plattermania, and there it is, Monster Maze. Nice. Oh, we've seen all of these. I know, yeah, even Alien Garden by Epix. There's the cartridge, and I really enjoy cartridges on home computers. Yes. The game's Thinkers Play, spinning plates. How does that work? That's what Epix was known for, is the games that Thinkers play, but I didn't think spinning plates would fit that. All right, how in the world do you play spinning plates? Plattermania. A totally different clown. Spinning plates right here. Look at that. So this is by Michael Farron and Bernie DeCoven. This is the first game we've seen by them. It is 4 players, but you have to take turns. You don't get to have 4 people spinning plates at the same time. So Plattermania is a game that allows children of all ages to fulfill a common dream, running away with the circus. It puts you in the center ring and pits your timing, agility, and skill against as many as 3 other people. Really? There's kids that their common dream is to run away with the circus? Did anyone in the chat as a kid want to run away with the circus? Well, now you can fulfill your dream playing Plattermania. It shows you how to begin the game. We have the select key to show how many people are playing, and then you have to have a separate joystick or paddle. Oh yes, make sure all those joysticks are in. No one else is here to play with me, but we're not going to be playing at the same time. Yeah, I didn't think so, Brian. Yes, we need clown lore here on the show. There's 12 levels of difficulty. You can start on any one of them. Choose the level you want and use the option key. All players start at the same level. As you progress, it's going to increase in levels. So to play, there's going to be a stage with 12 poles, and we just have to keep those plates a-going, spin those plates. You can see there's lots of information of how the game works, but it's fairly simple. It's just keep the plates going and just push the red button on each one. It explains how the scoring works here, and we have the different commands to begin the game using paddle or joystick. I got my joystick ready. I didn't bring a paddle for this one. All right, here we go. The first time we've ever spun plates as a video game. This is Plattermania by Epix in the beginning of November 1982. Way to go, Michael and Bernie. Bring it on. I was expecting carnival music, and the Atari home computer does not disappoint. Another game where we're going to be, the protagonist is a clown. That's pretty weird. All right, so here we go. We can do 1, 2, 3, or 4 players. That's just nuts. I'm going to start at the first level and go. Player 1's up. Our goal is 4 platters. Okay, let's see if we can do it. Here we go. I'm in. Keep it going. Oh, nope. Just touch and keep 4 going. That's all you got to do. I think so, right? Can I do more than 4? Oh, I can if I want to. And every time they start to wobble, you just move your clown over it and have him spin the plate again. Oh, it looks like I actually started another one. Uh-oh. So you have to keep them going. That's all it is. The name of the game is just keep the plates going. If you do, then you move on to the next level. So you get the concept. You just move the clown by the plate, push your red button, and keep them up. But if you happen to spin... I think we dropped them all. Yeah, we lost it, right? And then we get a high score table. Oh, if you're playing with 4 people, you can see it there too. This clown doesn't look jacked like Pinhead. We played Pinhead last episode. I really wanted the clown on the cover to look the same. This one looks more clownish, but it's a fun I don't know if I want to call it a fun idea, because I never thought I would find myself wanting to spin plates. Because all you have to do is just like that. Let's keep them separate. 1, 2, 3, 4. There you go. And then we'll do keep it up, keep it up. Just make sure you don't spin it while it's stable, because if you do, then the plate falls. Nice animation, though, on the plates. I can see them slowly wobbling, or wobbling different ways. And you can keep more going if you want to. But of all the games you can be playing in the circus, this one isn't really the most appealing of all the ones. Yeah, this is all the game is what you're seeing here. When you go to different levels, it's just going to be harder to keep the plates going. Uh-oh, no, I started another one on accident. Spin, spin. Spin, spin. And you ditch the plate if you have already one spinning. So you just have to make sure you don't go to the same spinning one. I really don't know how they pitched this for Epics, or why Epics picked this up as a game concept. Yes, we have acrobatic games. Circus in the arcade was a very acrobatic one. You know, the one where you're on the seesaw and it plays like Breakout? It was also called Clowns. That one is more acrobatic and more fun to play than this one. This one, I would say, would be even more anxiety-inducing than Breakout. Like, oh my gosh, I gotta keep them going. Oh, and I just started another one on accident. Oh no! Do I gotta keep this and just do all? Can I just keep doing this? Yeah, and then they start breaking. Whoops. And our poor clown has a sad face. Oh yeah, no trapezes yet. The only one that's close would be something like Pirate Pete or Jungle King jumping from vine to vine. So there you go, a quick taste of Platter Mania. There's a lot to be desired for this one. For me, of all the games you can be playing across all home computers, this is the best way to do a platter spinning video game, because it's the only one. Whether you'd want to or not is up to you. So, yeah, right? Someone thought of it and didn't. I love it, Chiptune. I won't be as kind. Part of me wants to say just bad, but I don't really want to say bad, because it has a pretty good presentation, so I'll say 2.5 stars. It's still around the average range, but not nearly an average video game of all the ones you can see up to this point. Yeah, I see some 2.5s in the chat as well. All right, after that, let's see what our next game is. And now the main event. It's time to play on the TRS-80 color computer for the most bizarre video game I thought we'd ever see. It's Poltergeist. And based on the movie Poltergeist. Take a look at the box. It's official. It knows what scares you. This is the craziest thing. I don't know what to make of this. Really? It's a licensed Poltergeist game? This is on the TRS-80 color computer. It is the 152nd game we've played on the Coco, and the 42nd that's been published by Tandy up to this point. Tandy took this on, and as far as I know, this is the only game that is licensed for Poltergeist. It's just crazy. Oh yes, Curtis, I definitely read that one. Yeah, I'm going to use that bug for sure, so we can see more of the game. All right, besides the box, what other artwork do we have for Poltergeist? What is going on? Look at this ad we have from magazines. It's Poltergeist, look, with the kids, based on the hit movie. Search for clues and face the poltergeist, not for parents or others easily frightened. And here's a lower price. Look at that kid. I think he's been playing Poltergeist way too long. Yikes. They're here, it says on the cartridge, with an example of the screenshot. Oh, there'll be a better plate spinning game? I'll look forward to that. So here's the manual for Poltergeist. Official. This is nuts. What in the world is Radio Shack thinking? I don't know what's going to happen when we actually boot the game up. Steve and Diane Freeling have lost their youngest child, Carol Ann. Aw, they haven't lost her. She's somewhere in the Freelings' home, being held captive by the poltergeist. It's up to us to rescue Carol Ann from the monstrous grasp of the poltergeist. To do it, we'll have to gather a few objects to help her. A length of rope, a ribbon, a towel, some tennis balls, and a handkerchief. I don't think that's in the movie. Once you have everything you need, including your courage, you'll get past the staircase, which seems to forbid your entry into Carol Ann's bedroom. If you can get upstairs, you'll have to get into the energy field and do battle with the tricky poltergeist. Can you believe all this? Can you save Carol Ann from an eternity of nothingness? Oh man, yes, we have lore, a little bit at least. We're going to need some analog joysticks to play Poltergeist. It shows us how to load right here. It's a cartridge, so you pop it in and go. This explains what level 1 is like. We're going to be able to see all levels here thanks to a little gimmick when we boot it up. There's a lot going on with every level. You notice how long it just explained level 1? Level 2 is the staircase level, which this one's going to be the tricky one to get by. And level 3 will be like a first-person gun sight scene. And we have to destroy the poltergeist 8 times to get past it. At the end of the game, you can rescue Carol Ann. You receive extra time units for successfully rescuing them. And then I think it begins anew. Yeah. And yes, Steven Spielberg strikes yet again here on Chronologically Gaming. Let's pop in and play Poltergeist. This is by SLM Entertainment and MGM Film Company, published by Tandy in the beginning of November 1982. Yikes. So another video game that features ghosts. We have basically mini games that we're going to be going and playing this. So I'm going to push our button. Can you gather the things you need to rescue Carol Ann? Probably not. So I'm going to play the first level as is intended. Here's how it works. It's a top-down view of all the suburbs. I'm in the top left, scurrying along as someone on... and I'm trying to find all of the items as I move around. But there are cars in the way. I have to tell everyone, the flashing is so bad in this game. Poltergeist wants you to have a seizure, so if you're sensitive to those things, please close one eye or turn away because it's very, very intense. I'm watching my eyesight now. So you can see how bad the cars are and preventing us from getting into the houses. So what you're intending to do is find the black dots on a home, find an item. Right there I found the rope. So if we go down to this house over here, we can go get another item. I'm actually going to use all my lives. There I just picked up the tennis balls. These are just random items from the movie, I think. But the controls already are really bad. I'm already used to the drift of the analog controls of this, but this is another level of bad. Yikes. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the gimmick. If you... Why is my keyboard not responding now? There it is. If you hold down the only button, none of the cars will come out. So that is what we are going to exploit. It is the best bug ever. I'm holding the button down and there's no cars, so now I can go through and pick up the tennis balls. You can see I'm looking for the black dots on the top of the homes. So it's one of those games that we're scurrying along. We got the towels, nice. We're just going from house to house. Keep holding the button down and you'll keep going. And then go to the top, looking for the last 2 items. Yeah, I know that there's a bug that bad, but I wouldn't want to play the game if I had to go through all the traffic. Got the handkerchiefs, got the red ribbon, and now, if you've noticed, some of the houses have something that flashes on top of it. That's where the poltergeist is. We have to go to that house where we can rescue Carol Ann. This is the one. Go. Got it. So level 1's complete. Now we have to get to the stairway. Oh yeah, you have the 30-second timer. That's right, Curtis. Can you get past the stairs? This one's tricky. So you're taking, at the bottom of the stairs, you got 2 feet. you have all these items you have to dodge, plus the poltergeist at the top, the smiley face, you have to come down to the bottom. If you lose from the stairs, you go back to this level. It is brutal. But we were essentially going from level to level playing these mini games. Picking up all the items here, the stairway, and then the last one's a kind of unique one because you're going through the vortex, shooting at the poltergeist from a first-person perspective. Not really a first-person shooter. It feels more like a rail shooter when we get to the third round. But gosh, the controls to move around are very difficult. How you would have had it to get through this with the timer, getting all the items while those cars are coming after you, is insane. Was that all the items? I'm looking. I think we got one right here. Can we go in now? No. It moves. See how it keeps... It's bouncing back and forth right now. There you go. That one worked. All right, so here you go. Stairway time. I'm already seeing it fall throughout a 1.5 star of all the games you could play. Another thing that's interesting is it's based on a horror movie, but the game really isn't horror at all. It's not even close to horror. All right, let's see if we can make our escape to the top. This whole part is very random and very difficult because the poltergeist is... Gosh, and the controls are so difficult, and we have to go all the way back again. And every time you die, the game flashes the screen over and over again. Yes, right? That's the horror. Everyone's definition of what scares them is different. So you could say this is not a horror game, but this game is very scary. Whenever I did playtests for this, I got a great luck of the draw and went right to the third stage and was like, okay, it's not that bad. But then it's because I was exploiting this bug, but also, can we go in this house? No, not that door. Go in that door down there. There we go. All right, stairway time. Can we do it? All right. Everything that moves against you can be moving randomly in different ways. No, it's so crazy difficult. I know the top-down view, Sisters of Mercy, makes me think of the Ghostbusters game. And there's our game over, right? Yeah. And it goes again. Well, we won't be able to see the third round here on the show. I'll include links down below where you can see the third round or the third stage. But it's 3 small games that really aren't that impressive. Man, oh man. Yes, we are... that's another good point. I think we're walking upstairs because in the movie, Caroline was on the 2nd floor. But I don't think we're going to make it to the top. I'll try one more time to see if we can do it. There's no gimmick or bug on the 2nd stage. And the 3rd stage is actually pretty simple. It's just shoot the poltergeist a few times with a crosshair on the screen. All right, come on, let's go. No, see how it's bouncing back and forth, and you got to be really fast. Oh, no. No. And even moving around, the controls feel very... we played better games on the Coco that handle better than this. I wish I could use my Frogger skills. It doesn't feel that way. All right, here we go. Now, am I going to be safe? Is everything going to get out of the way? It is. Go. Make a run for the top. Oh, and everything's back. And see, this poltergeist is constantly coming at you. That one you have to watch out for. Yikes. Oh, there you go. A quick taste of Poltergeist. At this point, of all the games we played, licensed video games actually are not new. We've played licensed Star Wars. We played licensed Star Trek. We played licensed Superman. We're about to see Spider-Man. We haven't seen it yet on the show, but we're so close. We basically have seen the licensed Spider-Man. We've seen Lupin. We've seen Doraemon. We've seen Popeye in the arcade and handheld. We've seen Mickey Mouse on the Nintendo Game & Watch. We've seen The Prisoner based on the TV show. We've seen King Kong that was licensed. Tron, Smurf. Buck Rogers is about to be here. We're about to see Buck Rogers, so it's basically licensed too. Towering Inferno is another one we've seen. Megaforce. Fantastic Voyage, all these licensed games that would be playing better than this one. Look over in the chat and I actually see an average score. So this one's a divisive one because it's just all over the place. You really have to have the controller in your hand and play the game yourself to see how these different ones work. But I see like a 3-star rating. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, If you were used to the joystick, it would help as well. This concept, though, of 3 different stages, you're doing basically mini games, is still a really fresh idea. So I'm still going to say this is still around an average game, even though it's clunky, a little messed up. The third round isn't nearly as bad. It's just basically a rail shooter. But yeah. Oh, level 3, yeah, to move around. But it's still 3 different stages that you'd have to get through to actually be in play this one. We've even played games that are inspired by movies, and I want to compare this to all the other licensed game out there, but it's really not as good. It is nice that they did have the 3 stages, but for this title, I'd say 2.5 stars. You'd be disappointed. Something that I didn't bring up when we had Howard Scott Warshaw on the show was with his game E.T. that we played. He basically invented something that I like to refer to as the licensed game letdown, where you watch a movie like Poltergeist or E.T., and then you see that there's a video game, so you say, I'm going to buy the video game because I love the movie. But you're not going to get the same experience that you got from the movie that you do with the video game. You know, this concept is all brand new right now. And with Poltergeist, I'm pretty sure you would understand, you're not going to get scared by the game. You're not going to have the same experience as the game, so it wouldn't be as big of a letdown. But because E.T. was so emotional, that was a bigger hit. When kids played it, they're like, this is just terrible. I'm not getting the same feels I got from E.T. But Poltergeist, you can understand, this is the beginning, which is terrible to think of, as the end of video games, because all this license junk's going to come out. Hopefully we don't get that much, but we're right here in the beginning. 1982 is when we're really hitting more and more licensed video games. It's a scary time for video games by 1983, though. Yikes. Oh, and the one in the arcade, yeah, Chiptune was a good one for Popeye, definitely. All right, so that's where we got to put all our video game playing on pause. Next time on Chronologically Gaming, there's a raccoon dog loose in the arcade. The first sports game for the Atari 5200, strategy on the Fujitsu FM7 home computer, and a real rootin' tootin' good time. But we are not playing a Wild West video game. That's it for today, and like I always say, kids, don't run away and join the circus. Have your parents sell you to the gypsies. Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the channel and joining me on my quest to play every single video game in order of release. We'll be streaming live every weekday at 9 p.m. Central, so join us and let us know if we missed any games along the way. This video would not be possible without Launchbox, RetroArch, and MAME. Tell all your friends there's some crazy guy named Chronologically Gaming trying to play every single video game. We have links down below that'll send you to places like our Discord and Patreon, and one that says all the video games we've ever played. If you go there, it's a list of everything, and you can click right to the game you want to see. Chronologically Gaming is the name to look for. We are perpetually retro, and we will catch you next time.